With tens of thousands of lots every year, there's plenty to choose from.
Yes, from 2 up, 2 down terraces to country piles, there is something for everybody.
So let's see what the bidders decided to go for on today's show.
In beautiful Cumbria, it was all about the right location.
As soon as we came here, saw those views out there, and we sort of fell in love with the place.
And in Nottingham, it was all about paying the right price.
I had to go to keep an eye on him to make sure he didn't go too high.
Whereas in Folkestone, Kent, nothing was right. Are you pleased with what you bought?
I'm sorry to disappoint you. No, I bought the wrong place.
All these properties have been sold at auction. We'll find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer.
Well done, sir.
I'm in the Lake District National Park, not exactly renowned for being crammed with properties to buy. However, what you do get is 885 square miles of rather gorgeous scenery. And there is a property that was up for auction around here somewhere.
The property I'm looking for is in an area called Urton, just on the fringes of the beautiful Eskdale Fells. And it is within the national park, and I think, well, it doesn't get much better than this.
Well, a short amble away, and I think I might have found it. 3-bedroom bungalow had a guide price of £120,000 plus. It looks pretty unassuming from the front, but I like the fact it's got its own garage. Pitched roof doesn't look to be in too bad condition. Let's take a look inside.
Obviously, the front garden is a little overgrown, but could be quite pleasant with it all trimmed back. It's just a shame there's not more of a view at the front. A high tree line across the road obscures the rest of the countryside. Hey-ho, you can't have everything, I suppose.
Interesting layout. Quite a large corridor facing you when you come in through the front door, and into a double aspect living room. A nice sized space, lots of light coming in from the windows, open fire, bit dated fire surround. Through into the kitchen, and the moment you walk through here, you go, wow! Fantastic! Imagine doing the washing up at the sink and looking out at that. Fantastic. What have we got in here, though? We got a reasonable sized kitchen, a little utility area there. But, I mean, it's not new, but you could probably work with these units. They look like they're sort of pretty much handmade, so maybe keep those but tartan them up. But I'm more interested in maximising that view, because I kind of glimpsed it in this room, but I didn't really see it that much, and why not? It's not making the most of it with that window. So what I want to see is French windows, or even better, bifold doors. Knock the whole wall down, make it all window. There's bifold doors, open that out of the garden, look at the view. Gotta be done.
Open your window and take a deep sigh. Think about letting the rest of the world go fly.
Yes, this is definitely a place where you want to bring the outside in and try to soak in that scenery.
So that's all fine and dandy then. It starts to go a bit wrong when you look at the rest of the accommodation, though, because it's all down this little corridor. 2 double bedrooms, one there and one there. They're a really nice size. A bathroom needs a bit of tender loving care, needs updating, but money and time and effort spent doing that will definitely be repaid in terms of what you add value-wise to the property. But then right at the end of this little corridor, the smallest bedroom. And ironically, it is the only one to have those glorious views.
3 bedrooms, decent kitchen with utility, double aspect living room, some land and a location that's just stunning. There has to be a catch, and darn it, there is.
Right, enough about the beauty of the countryside. It's time to talk drainage, because... It's a bit of a come down, isn't it? Because when you're buying a property out in the countryside, the likelihood is drainage is going to be potentially a bit of an issue. Old properties like this in the middle of nowhere would generally have been built with a septic tank.
Just in case you don't know what a septic tank is, well, it's a way of taking away your household wastewater and sewerage where there is no main sewerage system. The septic bit is the bacterial environment that digests the waste inside a tank buried underground. They do require a bit of maintenance and should be desludged around every 2 years, which brings me to the bad news.
Next door and this property share a septic tank, and next door have put a stipulation on the sale of this place that whoever buys it has to put in their own septic tank. What does that actually mean? Well, it actually means a lot of cost, a lot of digging. At the end of the day, it's going to be something you're never going to see again, but it's got to be done.
It was all looking so good, but at a guide price of £120,000 plus, I still don't think this bungalow would be money down the drain. What does the auctioneer who sold it make of it?
It sits in a beautiful location, you know, it sits really well with the Lake District. It's a nice backdrop. I think that once this property was modernised, new kitchen, new bathroom, outside done, landscape, trimmed back, looked after. I think if it was exposed to the sales market, I think you've got to be in the region of £200,000.
£200,000 resale price is certainly encouraging, but in this rural location, would there be any rental potential?
I think you would achieve a rental income of about between £550 per calendar month and £600 per calendar month.
Well, as bungalows go, it's not bad, but let's be honest, it's not going to be the bungalow that attracts a bidder to this one, is it? £120,000 plus as a guide price for that view? I think it's worth it. Let's see who agreed when it went under the hammer.
Plot 32, detached bungalow comprising 3 bedrooms and a bathroom, externally gardens. Who's here for this? 120, 120, 120 I've got, 121, 121 back row, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129.
So, perhaps not surprisingly, there was a lot of competition for the bungalow, and we rejoined the bidding at £150,000.
150 and a half, 150 and a half, 151 and a half, 152 and a half, 153 and a half, 154 and a half, 155 and a half, 56 and a half. Are we all done then at £156,000? First time, second time at £156,000, selling away. Well done, sir. You're with me all the way. Well done. Congratulations.
And so, for £156,000, the new owner of the 3-bed countryside bungalow is Paul. Paul is an engineering consultant for a local company, and he and his wife Jennifer have previously bought and renovated 2 other properties that they now rent out.
Paul, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So, if it isn't obvious, why did you want to buy this place?
Well, we really fancied getting somewhere in the country as a sort of weekend holiday retreat. And as soon as we came here, saw this was up for auction, saw those views out there, and we sort of fell in love with the place.
Right, so it's going to be a holiday home?
For ourselves.
Yeah.
But more weekend home.
OK.
So weekend and holidays.
Right.
Got an apartment in the town centre for weekdays.
Which town centre?
Whitehaven.
OK, fine.
Which is a bit closer to work. And then this will be just somewhere nice and quiet for the weekends.
Let's leave our hut, dear, get out of our rut, dear. Let's get away from it all.
Well, this might be a great place for Paul and his wife Jennifer, plus their 2 dogs, to get away from it all. But one thing we can't get away from is that drainage issue.
The key thing that we need to do is install a septic tank. We've had a quote coming in at about £10,000.
Wow.
It is a lot of money, more than we wanted to pay. The trouble is that because the existing septic tank is over in that direction, all the drains drain downwards in that direction.
Ooh.
The only place we can put the septic tank is the opposite side of the garden.
Right.
So all the drains need to be diverted.
So what else are you planning to do to it?
There's a couple of flat roofs on the garage and a little extension at the back there. They're pretty old now, so we need to probably replace, maybe we'll get away with refelting. We are thinking of painting the building.
And then inside, any major changes planned at all?
Not major changes. We want to change most of the flooring. We have picked up the carpet in that corner of the room here. Appears to be floorboards underneath. Assuming they are, then in most places we'll probably keep the floorboards.
And what about the kitchen?
The kitchen's fine. The units are handmade, I believe. The doors don't all fit properly, so I think just get a joiner to come in and essentially fix that.
And what about patio doors out here onto the garden?
It's something we considered in the first phase of work, and what we've budgeted for, we're not necessarily having that yet. We are thinking about having a conservatory potentially in the future.
Right. On the back?
On the back,
would be
yes.
Stunning, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah. If we can sit in the conservatory with lots of window looking out on that view, it will be great.
So the bigger picture is to get a house that maximises those views, but the short-term view is to spend 4 to 5 months getting the place up to scratch, installing that septic tank and then spending some time here.
What is the budget for the work?
The budget for the work is about 24,000.
OK.
Quite a lot of money, but
Yeah.
again, 10,000, well, over 10,000, that is the planning permission and the septic tank itself.
And are you doing any of the work, or is it all
Most of the work internally will need to be principally decoration and things like that. So we're going to do as much of that as possible. Things like removing the tiles in the bathroom, we'll do all that. It's just when it comes to things like joinery and building work, we'll obviously get the experts in.
And then how often do you think you'll be using it?
Pretty much most weekends, I would have thought. So Friday to Monday,
Right.
most weeks, and whenever we go on holiday and we're not going somewhere else.
Well, I'm delighted it's found somebody who's going to really appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let's get away from it all.
So, Paul buying this place for the obvious reason, and who can blame him? And wonderful that he and his family are going to enjoy this place and everything it has to offer. Still lots of work to do, and, you know, he's got to put that conservatory and that patio door on, really, hasn't he? Will he? You can find out later in the show.
I may not have the rural scenery, but I'm in a city steeped in tradition as well as being a busy modern metropolis. The city of Nottingham is a place I've visited many times during my football career. With the city boasting 2 football league teams, Notts County and Nottingham Forest. The 2 grounds are less than a mile apart, separated only by the River Trent that flows through the city. Just a mile or so from the city centre and Nottingham University is the property I'm here to see, set in this very pleasant modern development. It's a ground floor, 1-bedroom flat with a guide price of £55,000. Let's take a look. Okay, straight into the hallway. It's only a small hallway, but that's expected. It's a 1-bed flat. Okay, bathroom is just there. Nice pink bathroom with magnolia walls. Nice combo. Not my choice, but totally usable. The bedroom is there. Get a double bed in there, no problem. Into the kitchen lounge area. Kitchen is a little bit dated, but that looks all okay to me. And the lounge area here, you get a sofa, you get a table there, and you get your TV on the wall. Not a problem. And what I can see this being used for is professional people. The university's not too far away, the hospital's not too far, city centre's a couple of miles away, or even Nottingham Forest, Notts County, signing a young player and maybe putting them in here for 3 to 6 months, just for somewhere a bit private. Well, what a perfect little hideaway this is. Yes, it's not quite Premier League in its finish, but it wouldn't take much to get it up there.
Just hide yourself away, lie, 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 lie. Come on, just hide yourself away, lie, 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 lie. Come on, just hide yourself away.
There's no hiding away from the fact that the pink magnolia bathroom needs changing. Something a little more neutral would be more suited for today's market. And it's a shame it's only got electric heaters. Practical but less efficient than central heating. But then everything here is geared towards low maintenance. As there is no garden with the flat, but you do have this communal area here which from what I can see has been kept incredibly well. Can't see a leaf anywhere out of place. You've got a bench over here where you can sit down and read your books when the sun's out. It might cost you a few quid, but I think it's worth it. If it's kept in this condition, it's always a nice thing to have on your doorstep. You've got lovely surroundings, but well-kept communal areas come at a price, so always do your homework and find out how much it's going to cost you. The charges here are just under £1,000 a year, which I think is fair given the standard of maintenance. But what does a local estate agent make of this one-bed, ground floor flat?
It's quite intriguing. It feels like it's so far away from the city centre. However, it's only a 20-minute walk to the city centre, 20-minute walks to the station, and only 20-minute walk to the nearby university. It's ideal for the rental market, professional couple, first-time buyer. Property just needs a little bit of TLC. It's not dying, but it just needs a bit of lick of paint and new kitchen, new bathroom.
Yes, it's not going to take much to get this up and ready for the rental resale market. But small changes can limit the amount of value you can add to a property by doing the refurbishment. So can this flat that was guided at £55,000 see much uplift in value?
Once renovated, I feel this property will be on the open market within the region of £85,000.
Encouraging, but I see this as a perfect rental property. So how would it fare on the lettings market?
I see this property on the rental market at £475 per calendar month.
It is what it is. It's a one-bedroom flat and it's in a nicely well-kept area. Perfect for a professional person. Let's see who fancied it when it went to auction.
Lot number one, it's a modern one-bedroomed ground floor apartment that's in a popular location. 54,000 for it. 54 I've got, thank you. At £54,000, the opening bid. 55 from somewhere else. 55 is bid. 56 is bid. 57, 57,000, 58, 59 is bid. At £60,000, at 61, 61,500 help you? 61.5, 62,000.
So interest in the flat was quite intense, and we rejoin it with bidding at £72,000.
72, 72.5, 73,000. Either of you on the front row? 73.5, 73.5, 74, 74 and a half, 75, 75 and a half, 76. Sure? £76,000 for the first time, second time, third opportunity and a half. Your turn. 77. 77. You did that before. £77,000. Definite. Final answer. Sold at 77,000. Thank you very much.
And so, £22,000 over the guide price, the hammer finally fell at £77,000 for the one-bed flat. And the successful bidder is chartered engineer Charles, who previously studied for a PhD at nearby Nottingham University. And he bought this as a buy-to-let property, but the renovation's going to be a family project. He joined me with mother-in-law Joan to tell me more. Joan, nice to meet you.
And
congratulations,
you. Yeah,
Charlie.
thank you.
Same to you, sir. How was the auction? Because you both went together, didn't you?
Yes, we did. I had to go to keep an eye on him to make sure he didn't go too high.
First strings?
Yes.
I'm the risk taker, she's the prudent one.
Did it work, Joan? Did you look after him?
I did, yes. But he stopped, so that was fine.
Did he stop at the right time? That's
yes,
the big question.
He did.
No, it went all right. It went all right, didn't it?
Yeah.
It went, yeah.
So there's just a bit of a collaboration, a bit of a business we've got here, the two of you?
Maybe partly, yeah. We do, when we come up here, it'll be my mum that comes up here and helps do a lot of the work, but also I drag in my father-in-law.
Yep.
And the inspector here will check that we've done everything right.
John's your mother-in-law, yes, just for the record.
Yes.
So from that point of view, it's a bit of a family affair.
Good.
And my wife's just sitting at home, just making sure we're... I think this is my wife's conscience here, actually.
Yes. Keep an eye.
So did you go just for this one, or did you have other ones in mind?
No, just for this one, because I had a property in the same complex as a student.
I hence knew the area, so that I was quite confident what it was.
Not only does Charles know this building from his university days, he and his wife also have 2 other properties in the same complex, both of which they currently rent out. But what's his plan for this one?
Have you decided what I'm going to do?
Yes.
There'll be purslings, really clean throughout, and just to update it a bit. Not a complete gutting, it doesn't need that, but just probably around maybe 1,500, £2,000 worth of work.
What about the that beautiful pink bathroom we've got?
Yeah.
Yes.
The tiles are changing, aren't they?
Yeah, we've already planned how to do it, so we're going to work out how to do it, because the suite's all right in itself.
Yeah.
So we've already been down various DIY places and everything else, know what tiles we're going to use, we'll bring out the pink in it, and that will really be around it.
OK, so the bathroom will remain in the pink. Personally, I would have got rid of it and replaced it with a white suite. But keeping it obviously saves money. So you say your budget was?
I think somewhere between 15 and 2. I wouldn't expect to spend any more of that.
We'll be doing the labouring, so that I don't suppose we'll be paid. It'll
I've got to be at work.
I did hear a we, so you get involved, John?
The 2 mother-in-laws.
She will put a boiler suit on and start going. You will, she's known with that, so yeah.
So you're going to get your hands dirty, Jenny?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm a good sort of mate. I can bring the things and do the teas and clear up. I'm a good clearer-upper.
Invaluable.
Yes.
It is until you put the paintbrush down and it's gone because it's been washed.
It's been put away.
Oh, that quick, that efficient.
Quick, yes.
Very efficient. Yes.
What about the timescale? How long will it take you just to touch it up?
Yeah. How Oh,
well, I'm only going to give me Mum a few weeks. She needs to get on with that.
Yes.
To be honest, we can do
shift work. We're going to do. It's all right.
It would be no more than. To be honest, it's not a week's. It's probably a week's solid work, but it will probably take a month just trying to do it in and out.
And will you all be here at the same time? Like you said, you were joking shift work. Will you just come in and go out? Will you come here together? Or?
Yeah, well, probably 2 will come at a time. Charlie won't, because he'll be working. It'll just be weekends we'll get him involved. So otherwise it'll just be the ladies doing the manual work.
You'll let him involved or you'll get him involved?
We're getting involved.
It is a pretty straightforward turnaround, Joan, isn't it?
Yes.
There's no hidden things in there or anything else like that.
We hope not.
I think you'll get it done. With all the help you're going to get, Charlie.
Yes.
Hey? All those ladies around you.
Like fairies arriving in the night.
Yeah, that's true.
Joan, good luck.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Charlie, I wish you all the best, pal. Good luck.
Thank you.
Joan and Charlie, what lovely people and a great relationship. Now, Charlie knows this location from his university days very well. That's why he's brought here again. Close to the university, close to the city centre. He's got a small budget and a very short timescale to get the work done. Will he get it finished? You can find out later on in the programme.
Coming up in Kent, not everyone wants to buy a shop.
But if it's space you want, well, it's got it in abundance.
Back in Nottingham, is Charlie looking after his workers?
No, I didn't get paid. It was just love.
It's all about love.
But first, we return to the heart of the beautiful Cumbrian countryside. And it was here that we first came across a 3-bedroom bungalow. Now, the grass could do with a good cut and the interior may have needed a bit of upgrading, but what this place really was all about was the fantastic hillside views. And that's what really wound me up.
It's not making the most of it with that window. So what I want to see is French windows, or even better, bifold doors. Knock the whole wall down, just make it all window. There's bifold doors. Open that out of the garden, look at the view. Gotta be done.
Yes, I was almost ready to knock the wall down there and then, and just drink in more of that scenery. And I wasn't the only one enticed by this bungalow's location. Whitehaven-based couple Paul and Jennifer had also fallen under its spell, and they snapped it up at auction for £156,000.
So, if it isn't obvious, why did you want to buy this place? Well, we really fancied getting somewhere in the country as a sort of weekend holiday retreat, and as soon as we came here, saw this was up for auction, saw those views out there, and we sort of fell in love with the place.
And it really must be love, because one of the conditions of the sale was to install a septic tank and soakaway for the property. So with that costly work in mind, Paul had given himself a healthy £24,000 budget and a timescale of 4 to 5 months. So had Paul's love for the property stood the test of time? Well now, nearly 20 months later, we're back. Wow, the outside has been transformed with fresh paintwork, newly varnished woodwork and the garden given a good tidy up. So at last the bungalow looks more suited to its surroundings. But what's it like behind the door? Oh yes, it's got those patio doors I hoped for. I love it. But it's also got an oh so much more homely look about it.
Having started the work here, we really fell in love with the place and especially the location, and decided we really didn't want to anyone else to live in it. So that left us a choice of using it as a sort of holiday home. But once we found out we were expecting our first child, then we very much decided it's much more child-friendly than where we're currently living. It's got a garden, it's in the country, so we thought it was much more appropriate for us to bring up our child here.
Yes, I can fully understand why Paul and his wife Jennifer wanted to move here, because what a family house this now is. With 2 large bedrooms finished and furnished. And that smaller bedroom, well, that's 6-month-old Holly's, of course. And then there's the refurbished bathroom, lovingly tiled by Paul. It is beautiful here, but living in the countryside does come with some potential downsides. So what about that drainage issue that needed to be sorted out?
A condition of the purchase was for us to install our own septic tank, because currently the bungalow is sharing a septic tank with our next door neighbour. Having moved in and gotten to know them and got quite friendly with them, essentially we agreed between us that we don't need to install our own septic tank, we could just keep on sharing theirs, which has obviously saved us quite a lot of money.
Well, that's our result, and it just goes to show it always pays to be on good terms with your neighbours. And having saved on sewerage, it gave Paul an opportunity to splash the cash elsewhere.
Okay, this is the wood burner we've had installed. We weren't originally planning to do it, but because we saved a lot of money on some of the other parts of the build, we've installed it. We absolutely love it. It really makes the room nice and warm and cosy.
Yes, the wood burner is the perfect choice for the bungalow, but how much has it cost to turn this into a warm, cosy home?
Even though we've not put the septic tank in, we've spent probably in the region of 24,000. So maybe just not used our contingency, but used everything else.
A £24,000 spend on top of his £156,000 purchase price takes Paul's total costs to £180,000. And clearly Paul and his family love this bungalow. But do 2 local property experts also feel the love? What does the auctioneer who saw it last time think?
I think the work that they've carried out is very, very good, actually. Putting the fire in, the doors at the back, letting more light in. I think it's a really good job. I'm very, very impressed with that, actually.
Well, as much as this property makes a nice home, this is all about its location. We're situated inside the Lake District National Park and actually only a few miles from England's highest mountain, Scafell Pike. So as I'm sure you've seen, the views out the back are absolutely stunning, and that has to be its main selling feature.
Paul certainly isn't planning to sell this anytime soon, but having spent £180,000 to make this his home, has he also made it a good investment?
I think if this property was exposed to the sales market, I think you would see an asking price of £225,000.
I'd expect it actually to be worth around £230,000.
They're very good. I mean, we're not interested in ever selling the property, but it's always nice to know that you've actually made a bit of money should you ever need to.
Yes, and that bit of money currently stands between £45,000 and £50,000, less than normal taxes and expenses, of course. And the agent also reckons on rental figures of between £600 and £675 per calendar month, which would be a possible yield around 4 to 4.5%. But somehow I don't think any of those numbers greatly matter to Paul.
I honestly believe you can't get a more beautiful place to live. The views out here are spectacular, and you get to see them every day when you get up.
As soon as I wake up, any night, any day, I know that it's you I need to take the blues away. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love.
Well, for some people, their passion might be for the hills and mountainside, but for many, it's a place near the sea that is their heart's desire. With the town of Folkestone on the Kent coast, not only do you get the sea, but a town full of shops, old and new. And so today, I'm doing a bit of retail therapy.
Coming down this high street with all these shops everywhere, you've probably guessed I'm not here to see a house. Oh no, I'm here to look at a commercial venture. It's in here, it's on the ground floor and basement, and the guide price, £60,000 to £62,000. Now, it looks pretty empty. I'm going to investigate. What a shop! Look at this. Wow, nice chrome handlebars, contemporary glass reflecting lots of light, an incredible space. Look at this, ergonomic, curvaceous counter. Hello, madam, could I book an appointment, please? I mean, it's a lovely place to work. Pink on the walls, wow. Now, it currently has A1 usage, so it can only be used for certain things, a post office, an undertaker's, an internet cafe, perhaps. You'd have to check with the local council. You can't just rock up here and do what you want. Although I am going to do what I want, because I've always wanted to do this. Oh, okay. Hello, madam. Is it just a wash and a cut today? Been on holiday recently? Oh, just relax. Oh, great. I've always wanted to be a hairdresser secretly.
Who cut your hair? Who cut your hair? Who cut your hair?
Now, back with my property developer's head on what to make of this place. Well, it clearly wouldn't take much to start it up again as a hair salon. It really is all here, from the sinks, to the towels, to the magazines. But is that really the best option? Time to explore downstairs.
Well, when this shop was decked out, I can honestly say I don't think any money was spared. It's fantastic. Look at that lovely staircase. And as a hairdresser's go, well, it's got everything you need here. Little kitchen area over there, 2 really good-sized stock rooms, if you like. Now, it is a basement. It's quite dark, although there is some light flooding through from the big window up there. And if you come over here, there's a few steps leading out to a doorway, so that's the only natural light you're getting in here. But if it's space you want, well, it's got it in abundance.
Plenty of space, all the facilities, there's even parking at the back. But remember, we're looking at a closed shop. And if this clearly quite swish hair salon couldn't make a go of it here, then alarm bells should be ringing for anyone planning a similar venture. So what's the best approach for this place? Time, I think, to get some advice from a local estate agent.
As far as this property is concerned, if I were the owner of this property, I'd be looking to get consent to convert it to residential use. because certainly in this particular street, which is a second-level commercial district of Folkestone, there is not a lot of demand for small commercial space. You might see, if you look along the street, that there are a number of empty properties, and I don't see that situation changing.
Residential certainly might seem like the best option, but there would be a few hoops to jump through before that would be possible. For a start, you'd have to get the change of use from commercial to residential, and there's no guarantee that the local planning department would grant you this, so you might be stuck with it as a commercial space. And then what?
I would look at getting myself a long-term tenant. Once that tenant's in place, even if they're a lower rental than would be the norm, let's say £700 a month, that would net you around £7,000 or £7,500 per year, which means that you might be able to sell on at £75,000.
Well, for a property that was guided at £60,000 to £62,000, that might just work. But what about the potentially more lucrative route of turning it into a residential property?
If you could convert this into a residential property, say a 2-bedroom, could be a luxury apartment with parking out the back, nice central location, you could probably sell this on for around £100,000 or rent it for in the region of £600, maybe £650 per calendar month.
If planning permission was granted to change it into residential, I think this could be a really exciting project and there could be money to be made here.
Let's see who thought it was a cut above when we went to auction.
Okay, over the page to lot 30, vacant commercial premises, accommodation over ground floor and basement. You've got parking there, previously let at £9,000 per annum, guide of 60 to 62. Where will you start me on this one? 50, can I say? 50 anywhere? 50, I'm on the way. 52 now, can I say? 52, 54, 54, 56, 56, 56, 58. 60, can I say? £60,000 to the lady in the aisle, no? Is that a bid, madam? At £60,000? Is that a bid, yes? £60,000 I have. 62, can I say? If I don't see any more bids, I shall sell then. Ladies bid in the aisle at £60,000 for the first time, for the second time, third and final time, if you're quite sure and all done. Sold to you, madam, at £60,000.
So the hammer fell at £60,000, and the new owner of the shop in Folkestone is Basilisa. Basilisa lives 40 miles away in Chatham, where she's currently employed as a care worker, but she also teaches dance to the elderly. And so I was intrigued to know what she had planned for this former hair salon.
Basilisa, congratulations! So here we are in Folkestone. Are you pleased with what you bought?
I'm sorry to disappoint you. No, I bought the wrong place, the wrong lot. I was actually bidding the land, which is in New Romney. Then I actually hands on it because I thought that's what I was bidding. And when I come out, paid all the deposit, I've been handed in the lot 30, which is this shop.
Stop there. So hold on a minute. You bid for lot 30, but you wanted a bid for a different lot altogether, and you got mixed up.
I really don't know what happened. I just something like that.
So you've ended up buying something that you didn't know anything about and didn't want.
Oh no, indeed. Having gone along to the auction to try and buy a bit of land to build a house onto, Basilisa hadn't realised that the land lot had been withdrawn, and following the order in her catalogue, she got muddled and bought this salon by mistake. Eek! Oh no! Oh dear.
When did you first see this building?
That was when the auction sold me. We came here, only outside, and I couldn't hardly sing. And I was saying, oh my God, I'm going to resell it. No way, I'm not doing anything, just resell it. Tidy up the paperwork, as the auction told me that when it's completed, they will sell it for me.
When is the first time you saw it on the inside and had a good walk around?
Today.
So now you've seen it, and you've walked around, and you've seen upstairs and downstairs.
I didn't like it, but now I like it.
Do you now love it?
Well, I like the way it's because it's bigger than my flat, though.
So you love this, you love being in this space.
Yeah.
So let's move on and try and make a positive out of this, Basilisa. Are you any good at cutting hair?
No.
No! See, had you said to me, I am amazing at cutting hair, we could have done a big high five.
I know.
Right, so what are you going to do with this shop?
All I can do now is looking at the surrounding. I think I will just say about children in dancing.
So you're thinking of turning it into a little dance shop? Or maybe like a music with mummy type environment.
Yeah.
So what about your downstairs? You've got a big basement down there, but there's not a lot of natural light.
Yeah.
So what would you do with something like that?
If the council will permit me, I would like to be a living accommodation myself. If I've been allowed to live there, I will live downstairs, and I open this studio, and then I can look after the business while I'm here.
So you are going to try and make this shop work for you?
Well, you have to give Basilisa her dues. She is determined to turn a negative into a positive. Though I'm really unsure about whether she will get that hoped-for permission to turn the basement into a flat. But the dancing studio idea might just have legs.
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
You're quite unusual. I can tell you've got quite a style. How many pairs of shoes is it that you own?
I got 251.
Where do you keep all your shoes? Well, you've certainly got enough space. Maybe you just paid £60,000 to put all your shoes in here.
Under the bed, the height of the bed and the width of the bed is the width of my shoes. Under the bath, and in the toilet, and in the shower, and in the kitchen.
Basilisa, it's been lovely meeting you, and I really don't know what to expect when we come back. Yeah. Will you own it? Will you have sold it? Will you be dancing here with children? I hope so.
I hope so, because that's the only one I'm good at. Cutting hair.
Good luck.
So thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
So, this may not be the lot Basilisa intended to buy. So take note, viewers. It's easier to do than you think, really. But she is prepared to try and make it work, but what I want to know is how. You can join me later on in the programme to find out how she gets on.
We've already checked on the progress of one property, but what about the other two?
Months have passed. There's been plenty of time. Has the work been done?
Yeah, well, we all know things don't always go to plan. Let's find out.
It was not far from Nottingham University and the city centre, where we found a block of purpose-built apartments. Set in pleasant communal gardens, it was here on the ground floor that a one-bed flat went up for auction, and this slightly dated property was bought for £77,000 as a rental investment by Charles. And along with mother-in-law Joan, he had a ready and willing workforce to carry out the necessary tasks to give this property the little lift it needed. So is this a bit of a collaboration, a bit of a business we've got here, the two of you?
Maybe partly, yeah. We do, when we come up here, it'll be my mum that comes up here and helps do a lot of the work, but also I drag in my father-in-law. Yep. And the inspector here will check that we've done everything right.
Joan's your mother-in-law, yes, just for the record. Yes. And what about the timescale? How long will it take you just to touch it up?
Yeah, how
well, I'm only going to give me mum a few weeks. She needs to get on with that.
Yes.
To be honest, we can do it.
Work we're going to do. It's all right.
It would be no more than a month just trying to do it in and out.
With a £2,000 budget, chartered engineer Charles was hoping just to oversee the work while he let his band of relatives get on with the task in hand. Now, 6 weeks later, we're back to see if they've done him proud. Well, it looks very much like job done. So who should step forward and take a bow?
Charlie's mother did all the work.
and I just did the tidying up and the cleaning after her. So, but she did most of it.
They've been in here all week tidying up while
Yeah.
I've been away on holiday.
Yeah.
The truth be have it.
Living it up, living it up, living it up to you. Living it up, living it up, living it up, living it up to you. Living it up, living it up, living it up, living it up to you. Living it up.
It's all right for some. Charles went off skiing while his mum Susan, who had renovated properties before, got on with the jobs like painting the dark wood and retiling the bathroom. And Joan got cleaning. And I hope she charged the going rate.
No, I didn't get paid, it was just love.
It's all about love. Keep it in the family.
Charles has played the family card perfectly. Though in truth, I think they all really enjoyed doing it and working together.
No, I think it went very well, and it wasn't too big a job for the older ones to start on.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Don't take on knocking down walls if you're going to employ pensioners.
Sound advice there, Charles. I must add that to my list of do's and don'ts. But equally, I would add, don't knock what these pensioners are capable of either. The work they've done here is already reaping its rewards.
We'd already spoken to the people who rent out the other properties for tenants, and they've already now found us a tenant ready to come in, so it should be within the next couple of weeks we get them.
A tenant lined up, the work done. But did that free labour keep the cost down?
Yeah, we set a budget probably around 1,500 to 2,000. We've come in probably just a little bit under it, and just a few changes like flooring went down, but other things weren't changed. So we're quite happy with what we spent, so it was fine.
£2,000 spent on top of the £77,000 purchase price will take Charles's total cost to £79,000. And I think they've done all that was needed here. But what do two local estate agents make of this tidy little one-bed flat? Starting with the agent who saw it last time.
Since they've done the work, I like it. It's nice, fresh, light, and I get the impression they haven't spent too much. Sometimes less is more.
The property is small but perfectly formed, as people often quite say. I like the open plan dining kitchen with a nice aspect and a small seating area with views over a small open plan garden.
The negatives are probably lack of central heating, it's electric storage heating. Kitchen probably requires upgrading, but it's good enough.
The property's been modernised to a degree, I guess, really, but I'm disappointed to see the original kitchen and bathroom are still in place, although with new smart tiling and new decorating, it does lift the property.
OK, so they could have gone a bit further, but this is an investment after all. And though they've already got a tenant lined up, currently, how would this £79,000 investment fare on the resale market?
I see this property on the market within the region of £80,000 to £85,000.
I think this will achieve around about £85,000 and would expect to put it on the market at £89,950 to fully test the market.
I think the valuations-wise, probably where I thought they would be. A little bit high, actually. A little bit high, but it's fine with me.
Yeah, good.
Well, there would only be quite a small profit on resale, maybe £5,000 at best, but this is really all about its rental potential.
With regards to rental, I see this on the market within the region of £475 to £525 per calendar month.
On the rental market, I would expect this property to achieve £475 per calendar month.
Actually, I was expecting around 500 and we've rented it for 525, so we're pretty happy and they're pretty close, so pretty much spot on.
The £525 per calendar month Charles is getting would generate a healthy annual rental yield of just below 8%. So I think you can chalk this one down as a success. But are Charles and his band of pensioners planning more property projects?
I think what next at the moment, we just go on hold, we finish this. My wife's quite happy that I stopped doing anything for a little while, and we'll see if any opportunities come up in the future.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Good, so
Very
I've got the
good.
sanction.
Yes.
It was in the Kent coastal town of Folkestone where we first saw a commercial property that was up for auction, and this former hair salon was, as retail spaces go, quite impressive. But this story wasn't really about the property. It was more a salutary tale about the pitfalls of auction bidding.
Sold to you, madam.
But what if we got it all wrong? And what if we got it all wrong? What if we got it all? What if we got it all wrong?
Vasilisa, are you pleased with what you bought?
I'm sorry to disappoint you. No, I bought the wrong place, the wrong lot. I was actually bidding the land, which is in New Romney. Then I actually hands on it because I thought that's what I was bidding. And when I come out, paid all the deposit, I've been handed in the lot 30, which is this shop.
So you've ended up buying something that you didn't know anything about and didn't want.
So having paid £60,000 at auction for a former hair salon she didn't want, Vasilisa, you might have thought would have cut her losses and put it straight back into the next auction. But she was made of sterner stuff.
What are you going to do with this shop?
All I can do now is looking at the surrounding. I think I will just say about children in dancing.
So you're thinking of turning it into a little dance shop?
And along with her dance studio plans, she was hoping to convert some of the space into a flat for her to live in. But it was the dance studio that I was really excited about. But were the streets of Folkestone ready to waltz their way onto the dance floor? Well, now, 9 months later, we're back with plucky Vasilisa to see what's in store for the shop space. Oh, wow! Don't see much floor space for dancing in here.
I opened a second-hand shop mainly because over the years I have collected so much stuff.
Yes, Vasilisa decided to make the most of the space while she waited for planning permission to be granted on turning parts of the property into a residential space.
Permission has not been thrown out completely, but hopefully when things done, I can do what I really want to do in the shop.
So Vasilisa has so far been turned down 3 times in her attempt to convert some of the space into residential accommodation. But what is it exactly that she's been applying for?
I will divide it into half. The 2-bedroom flat will be mainly upstairs because of the lights, and then the shop mainly downstairs where the 2 rooms are. But I will have a small down here just to people see the shop.
So currently she's submitted plans for a 2-bed flat across the 2 levels, with the bulk of the living space at street floor level, and the basement area is to be split in half, with the front area remaining as a shop, while the back area would be extra rooms for the flat. And the flat would be accessed via the rear entrance. So what happened about the dance studio idea?
In the dancing, I found out that not much people I can teach. The moment is 2 is interested, 1 is adult and 1 is 11 years old, and once a week. That's not gonna make my income. So I've got to change to suit my business. I need the business to grow.
But is a second-hand shop really going to bring her in enough money to grow into a successful business venture? Vasilisa purchased the shop for £60,000 and so far has spent £2,000 on submitting plans, bringing her total cost to £62,000. So is she on the right track? What do 2 local estate agents think? First, the agent who saw it last time.
It's now full of goods for sale, but other than that, it's the same building that I saw before.
It's currently being used as a second-hand shop. Any other kind of shop would probably be better at the moment. Second-hand shops don't give very high yield for rentals. The basement would make a very good flat.
I don't think there's really need for any commercial aspect to this building at all. I would like to see it changed to perhaps a 2-bedroom flat with parking out the back. It would give it quite an enhancement in value, and also you'd have people living here happily paying their rates. That would be the right solution.
Well, there might be a strong argument to convert this shop for residential, but so far, Vasilisa has been unable to do so. But could her £62,000 investment still be OK if this remained a commercial space?
As a commercial property for sale in current market, around £70,000 to £75,000, and if you were to let it, about £750 per calendar month.
As a commercial unit, it could be sold for £65,000 to £75,000, and it could be rented for £625 to £675 per calendar month.
So what does Vasilisa make of those figures?
If someone will pay for it, now I will take it.
Yes, I can understand why she might want to move on, but would she potentially be leaving behind a more lucrative opportunity if her plans to convert it into a 2-bedroom flat were approved?
If we could convert this into a 2-bedroom apartment, then I think it would be possible to sell it for somewhere in the region of £125,000 to £130,000, and on the rental side of things, £600 to £650 per calendar month.
As a 2-bedroom flat, it could be sold for around £110,000 to £120,000 and could be rented for £550 to £650 per calendar month.
I think if I get the permission now, I would go ahead with the two-bed flat. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, no wonder she's keen. Even with conversion costs, the 2-bed flat option just might make Vasilisa a profit and turn this potential financial disaster into a success. So, despite all the problems along the way, how does she reflect on her unexpected purchase?
I am very happy. As I said to myself, I was happy before the alteration. I'm happy now. It's just the hiccup about the permit and about this thing. But it's only a hiccup. But I am always been happy here.
Well, that's all we've got time for on today's show.
But there are loads of property projects happening up and down the country, and we'll have plenty more of those for you next time here on Homes Under the Hammer.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.